She found it on a Tuesday, not because she was looking, but because she was filing. 8 months of wedding planning generates a specific kind of paperwork: receipts, contracts, deposits, the administrative infrastructure of a future being built. She was organizing the folder, and the document was there, between a venue contract and a florist invoice. She did not understand it immediately. She read it once, then again, then a third time. His name was on it. The date was 6 years ago. The other name, a woman called Renata, she had never heard before. She sat at that table for a long time. The wedding planning folder was still open in front of her. The flowers she had chosen, the invitation she had designed, the venue deposit she had paid 3 months ago, all of it still there. All of it now something else. Here is what this story is actually about. Not the marriage certificate, not even him. It is about the specific architecture of a deception that requires 2 full lives to be maintained simultaneously, and the thing that always, eventually makes one of them visible. The character at the center of this story, call her Isla, had been with the man she planned to marry for 2 years and 4 months. She had met his friends. She had been to his apartment. She had spoken to his mother on the phone twice. He had constructed a complete and functional life that did not include Renata, and a complete and functional life that did not include Isla, and he had maintained both for 2 years and 4 months, without either of them knowing the other existed. Stay with this, because the way he did it is the part that matters. Isla met him at a work event. Nothing cinematic, a conference room, bad coffee, name tags. His name was Joel. He was warm, not performing warmth, actually warm. The kind of person who remembers what you said 20 minutes ago and asks a follow-up question. She noticed that immediately, and it made an impression. They exchanged numbers. He texted first that same night. By the 3rd week, they were talking every day, slowly getting to know each other. By the 2nd month, she had met 2 of his friends and was starting to feel more comfortable. By month 4, she had a key to his apartment, and things were moving forward. Everything moved at a pace that felt right, not rushed, not slow, just right. He was available. That is the word she would use later to describe the way he was always there for her. He was consistently, reliably available, and that was a comforting feeling. He answered when she called. He showed up when he said he would. He remembered the things that mattered. She had been in relationships before where the person was technically present, but emotionally somewhere else. Joel was never somewhere else, or so she believed. What she did not know, what she had no way of knowing, was that Joel's availability had been engineered. He had structured his 2 lives with the precision of someone who had been doing this long enough to know where the gaps were. Renata worked long hours. Isla worked standard hours. Renata traveled for work. Isla did not. The calendar had been studied. The windows had been mapped. The availability she experienced as love was logistics, a carefully planned routine. He proposed at 14 months. Not a grand gesture. A quiet dinner, just the 2 of them. At a restaurant she had mentioned once. Only once, 6 months earlier. He had remembered, and she said yes immediately. She did not hesitate, did not need to think. The answer was already there. Before he finished the question, she called her mother from the car. She was still in the restaurant parking lot. Engine off, ring on her finger, crying in the good way. And her mother cried too. Everyone she told cried in the good way. The planning started the next week. She was organized. That is who Isla is. She makes lists. She builds timelines. She does not leave things to chance. 8 months out from the date she chose, she had a venue, a photographer, a caterer shortlisted, a dress she had altered 3 times. She had also paid a significant deposit. On a honeymoon she had researched. For 2 weeks, Joel was present throughout. He had opinions about the venue. He tasted the food at the catering session. He approved the photographer's portfolio. He was the perfect partner in the planning of a wedding he knew would never happen, because 3 months into the planning, 6 weeks after the venue deposit, Renata found out about Isla. And Joel made a decision. Not the decision you would hope for. The decision he made is the one that tells you everything about who he actually was. When Renata found out, Joel did not confess to Isla. He did not end either relationship. He managed the information. Renata confronted him. He admitted it. He told her Islam meant nothing. He told her he was ending it. He did not end it. He went home to Isla that evening and helped her finalize the invitation list. That is the decision. That is who Joel was. For the next 3 months, after Renata knew, after he had promised her it was over, he continued planning a wedding with Isla. He continued showing up, continued being available, continued performing the future. He was managing 2 women, who now both knew different versions of the same lie. Renata believed he was ending it. Isla did not know Renata existed. He was in the exact center. And the document that Isla found, the marriage certificate, was not something Joel had left carelessly. Renata had sent it. She had mailed it, physical mail, addressed to Isla. No note, just the certificate. Renata had decided that if Joel would not tell Isla the truth, she would. Not out of cruelty, but out of the specific solidarity of one woman who understood exactly what it felt like to be the last person in the room to know. The document arrived on a Tuesday, between a venue contract and a florist invoice, and it was a moment that would change everything. Slowly, quietly, it would sink in, and nothing would be the same. Stop here for a second, because what Isla did, after she found that document, is not what you would expect. She did not call Joel. She did not confront him. She did something specific, and what she found when she did it is worse than the certificate. Isla did not call Joel. She opened her laptop and typed his full name into a search engine. Not their city, not his profession, his full name. And Renata's name, which was on the certificate, beside it. She found the wedding announcement 6 years ago, a small piece in a local publication, a photograph. Joel, younger, smiling, standing beside a woman Isla had never seen. She found their social media. Renata's profile was not private. Isla scrolled for 40 minutes, and she found photographs from dates and times she could account for. Joel at a family dinner. The date, a Saturday he had told Isla he was working. Joel at a weekend trip. The date, a long weekend he had told Isla he was visiting his father. His father, who Isla had never met, who she had always accepted was not close, a description Joel had offered early, and she had never questioned, because it seemed personal, and she did not want to push. The father who was not close had an active social media profile. He had posted photographs from a birthday dinner. Joel was in them, with Renata. The birthday dinner was the same weekend Joel had taken Isla to the coast and told her it was the most important trip of his life, and she was trying to process this. Both things happened the same weekend, and she was trying to understand. She sat at the laptop for 3 hours. She did not cry. She built a document, dates, locations, screenshots, everything in order, everything accounted for. By the time she was finished, she understood the full architecture, and then she called Renata. Isla and Renata spoke for 2 hours. They had never met. They had never spoken. They knew the same person from completely different angles. And the conversation, 2 women comparing what they knew against what they had been told, was the most clarifying thing either of them had experienced in years. Not because it was comfortable, but because it was accurate. Isla ended the engagement, not in a dramatic confrontation. She sent a message. She said, I know all of it. Do not contact me. Joel replied 3 times. She did not read any of them. The deposits she lost, the venue, the honeymoon, the photographer. She considered the cost of information expensive, worth it. Here is what this story is actually teaching. The availability that feels like love, the person who always answers, who always shows up, who always remembers. That availability can be engineered. It can be a product of logistics rather than feeling. And the way you tell the difference, the specific way, is not by questioning how available they are, but by asking who else has access to their time, not suspiciously, clearly. A person with nothing to hide can account for their calendar. A person managing two lives has engineered a calendar that was never designed to be seen by either one. Look at the calendar, not with suspicion, with clarity. That is the whole lesson. If someone in your life is always available, but you have never really seen their full calendar, one word in the comments. No explanation needed. Just let yourself be counted. Every story on this channel exists for one reason: to show you the mechanism, not just what happened, how it was built. The availability that felt like love was a calendar. The man who always showed up had two calendars. And the woman who finally saw it only saw it because another woman decided she deserved to. That is the story, but the lesson is yours. Shadow Betrayals. Every week, one story, told completely. The mechanism, every time. If this one stayed with you, the next one will too. One word below, I will be here.